Good afternoon, and thank you for joining this briefing on the City of Newark and our snow emergency operations. This afternoon, you will be hearing from Mayor Baraka and Public Safety Director Chief Ambrose.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad folks were able to come out and join us here. You didn't have to send a chopper to my house. News 12 out 12. I've been here since Saturday, working out of this office and in the streets of Newark to wee hours in the morning. We have we have plowed at least 5,000 miles of road in the city already. We have a lot more to do. We have 50, 60 pieces of machinery out on the road now. I just want to thank the county, the state, Newark Public Schools, Passaic Valley Sewage Company, all of the folks that are helping us out, as well as local people in the city with small trucks and plows that they have been using to help us take or rescue cars that have been abandoned in roads, helping us get up narrow streets, begin to move that. That has been extremely helpful to us. By Saturday at 1 o'clock, we were able to get every major artery, every main corridor in the city available for buses, for trains, for everybody to be able to move using public transportation. Since then, we've been on all secondary roads. It's been extremely difficult for us getting on the side roads. There have been a lot of abandoned vehicles, which means we had to use front loaders and dump trucks, which makes the process take a little longer than we anticipated because they actually have to pick the snow up, put it in the dump truck, haul it off, bring the dump truck back. That slows the process down tremendously. So I know there are a lot of people out there that are aggravated, that are frustrated about how fast we are getting this done. I just want to let everybody know we will get it done, no matter how long it takes. We're going to stay out here, and we've been out here for 2 consecutive days and nights trying to get this storm under control here in the city of Newark, and we're doing all that we can do to get this done. And we're going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And I apologize to those folks who were not able to get to work today or had any other inconvenience because of the snowstorm. But trust and believe that we are working hard around the clock to make sure that you're able to do what you're supposed to do during your regular schedule. City Hall was closed today. All of the directors and high-level personnel reported to the Office of Emergency Management to begin working on the snow-related emergency that we have. Because we didn't get a snowstorm, we actually got a blizzard, and we're responding to that with all of the forces that we have. I know the Newark Public Schools, thanks to the superintendent, upon our consultation, was closed today because we weren't ready, and I know parents, we didn't want our parents and the kids to be out there in dangerous conditions, so we urged them to close schools. However, schools will be open tomorrow. City government will be open tomorrow. We expect to keep moving all the way up into the early hours of the morning to make sure that we have regularly scheduled work, activities, and events that are taking place in our city.
Good afternoon. Public safety, where you have adequate staffing. I'd like to announce that we have 3 critical incident response teams made up of fire and police. They're responding into areas that cars are stranded or people are stranded that need medical treatment. So far, we haven't had any deaths in the city. We had 20 car fires from people being stuck or overheating their cars and their cars catching fire. We've had over 30 accidents that we service residents and people coming into our city. Right now, in our Emergency Operations Center, we're monitoring all complaints of cars that are stuck in the snow, and we're addressing them with our snow plows and our snow end loaders. We're also addressing all complaints that are coming in. And we're also mapping through neighborhood services, have a mapping device that we can tell which streets were not plowed yet, and that's our priority. So as the mayor indicated, public safety is working in conjunction with neighborhood services. I think that the residents have to be patient. I know it's hard. We're frustrated, just as frustrated as the residents. This was supposed to be a storm, but it was a blizzard, and I think the whole eastern seaboard is hit with this. I think that if the people just bear with us, as the mayor said, we will get the snow picked up. But right now, there's no hindrance to any public safety for ambulances, fire, or police. We'll continue to serve the residents of the city. Thank you.
Any questions?
How much did it affect the whole snow plan that you were kind of expecting 12 inches of snow? You got more than double. How did that just in general
Well, it complicated the process because I think that the residents believed as well that we were not going to have a blizzard, so they continued business as usual in the community, and we tried to inform them to stay home, so many of them did not. As a result, we had almost 280 weather-related incidents in terms of cars, digging people out, car fires, and so forth. That slowed us down tremendously because as a result of that, fire engines were stuck, EMS got stuck as well, so our whole operation had to be converted into a rescue operation. Then we had to go back and resume plowing the snow.
Do you think the city will be ready tomorrow to go back to school?
Yes, we'll be ready for the students to go back to school tomorrow, absolutely.
Will be safe for the students and parents?
We're going to we have every piece of equipment that we can imagine out on the street with the state and the county support. We're going to make sure that the kids are safe going to school tomorrow.
Mayor, can you explain, we went down a couple of roads, Badger Avenue being one of them.
Right,
It's a two-lane road,
exactly.
but what you're seeing in some of these cases here is only one lane being plowed with no direction to the drivers there as to whether or not traffic is supposed to flow north or if it's supposed to flow in the other direction heading south. Can you address that and some of the confusion that's out there?
Well, we have to finish plowing those areas. As a matter of fact, any road that was like that is because cars were impeding the plows from going through one side. So we had to clear a road so people can get back and forth and try to move those cars out of the way so we can go do the other side of the road. We have many people who have unfortunately abandoned their vehicles. And I don't want to talk about the city residents that did that because there were so many city residents who helped us, who are helping us trying to retrieve those cars at the same time.
But in the section that we were, Mayor, we followed a snowplow and there were no cars that were
Right.
blocking anything in particular.
Right, so we were making a path for emergency vehicles. If you didn't see any cars, it's probably because they were moved. We made paths for emergency vehicles to be able to go move back and forth through the road, EMS, fire, police, because they were getting stuck out here, and we had to make a path for them so we can go back and go and do those roads again.
From the flow of traffic, it just seems like it's kind of confusing to the people who are out on the roads.
I'm sure it is confusing. I would rather them be confused than stuck or an accident or an emergency vehicle can't get through. Somebody's sick. We had to move people to dialysis. So we had to make a path for emergency vehicles. We had people with dialysis, with diabetes, with all kinds of things that we had to make sure EMS could get through, fire could get through. So that was completely and totally necessary. We will get back to those roads to make sure that they're completely open and that the folks can go back and forth. But in the meantime, we had to make sure the city was safe enough for the emergency vehicles can continue to traverse the city.
What do you say to those residents who are saying, my block still hasn't been touched yet, I saw tons of snow, I can't get out?
We're going to get to them, just like all the other cities, just like New York, just like everywhere around here, just like D.C. We had almost 3 feet of snow, and we're going to work hard, probably like the neighborhoods where you live. But we had 3 feet of snow, and we're working to get them out, and they will be out. Be out. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Unfortunately, the process is taking a little longer than we anticipated because we're using front loaders and pickup trucks, dump trucks, because the plows can't get through those blocks. The plows are too big, and they can't get through those blocks. With cars are there on both sides of the street, narrow roads, medians in the middle. In order for us to get to those side streets, we're going to have to use smaller vehicles and front loaders and dump trucks, which takes a longer process. So we will get them out. Tell them to be patient, hang in there, call the emergency number here if they have any issues.
Mayor, what about
5,000
surplus help
1
from
second.
the county?
Huh?
What about help from the county?
The-
Extra help from the county?
The county is helping us. The county did the county roads on Saturday, and they're sending us more support today. And so not only the county, but the state is also supporting us as well.
Mayor, what about the state of emergency? Shouldn't residents be required to take their cars off the street so you can plow the streets?
Right, we issued a state of emergency on Saturday, and we put it out. We sent it to the press. I did a phone, reverse 911, so folks did hear that. We did it more than once. We instructed people to stay inside, that the storm was terrible, and that they should not be outside, and that they, in fact, should park their cars in their parking lots, or gas station parking lots or school parking lots as well. Some people adhere to that. Unfortunately, a lot of people did not, and as a result of that, is what we have. And we're going to work through all of these issues. I don't think that it means the end for us. We just got to work harder to be able to get this done and work longer.
How's the plan gonna change for next time?
Well, I think the plan that we had was not the problem. I think ultimately part of the problem that I think the plan was is our ability to enforce people staying off the road. We have to really enforce that the next time. I can always say in hindsight, I got 1,000 guys. I wish I had 2,000. I had 300 trucks. I wish I had 600. So we can plan to get as many folks in here as we possibly can. But what we do have to understand is that everybody in this area was preparing for the same storm, not Newark. So not just us. So all of our outside vendors were also committed to other cities and other communities or private sectors, whether some people were at the port, some people were at the Meadowlands, some people were all over the place doing private sector stuff, which they could get paid higher money for, by the way, than helping us. And but they have been helpful. When they finish, they help us. And you know, so all of us around this area have been trying to get the outside vendors. So the more vendors we have, the better off we are.
Mayor, the third-party vendors, how much of that basically represent in terms of the city's approach to getting itself dug out? Is that like you rely on it 20% of the time, 30%? How much?
Well, I would think almost the majority of our activity is through outside vendors here in the city. The majority of the work that we have, the city doesn't own a bunch of front-end loaders with a bunch of dump trucks besides the garbage trucks that we have and a few things that we have for emergency. Besides the plowers and the salters, we have a few, but we need more. And so we obviously contract out to vendors to support us, like most cities in this area do. Unfortunately, when there's a storm of this size, everybody calls all of the vendors in this area, and they all did that. And it spreads everybody thin. And so we're all helping each other out to get through this process. That's it? Thank you.